say that our kids fought hard. They deserve to win that game, and because they did the things that are necessary to win the game. When you play that hard with that much effort, you're going to create your own luck, and that's what we did tonight. So, couldn't be more proud of this team. I told them in pregame meal that I was lucky to be able to coach them, and obviously they proved me right. I hesitated, and looking back on it, hindsight being what it is, I almost told them not to throw the Gatorade bath on me when we won, but I didn't want to. I just wanted them to go into the game and just play, and not think and not put any other pressure on themselves. And then also, I know my team, and if I told them not to throw a Gatorade bath on, I would have got 2. So it was a great win. Can't be more thankful for the Hampton Roads community, Monarch Nation, for supporting us and coming out in full force. And I want to see them here all year long, because that's what college football is right there. Right? I mean, that's college football right there, and that's what makes this game great. That's what makes me want to coach it. And so, what do we got for questions?
What was it like to be the head coach of a team in an atmosphere like that? When it's your team, I know you've been at Penn State, but this is your team at Old Dominion with an atmosphere like that.
Yeah, it's not my team. It's the players' team. Obviously they've got to hold each other accountable, and they're the ones that are going to create the culture. I'm going to set a standard and hold guys to it, but ultimately it's about, what they do and those sort of things. So it was awesome for everybody in our organization. Obviously we've got a lot smaller organization than some, but I like it that way. I like being able to know everybody personally and know their stories, and know what makes them tick, and be able to have fun with all of them. And it's fun. I know you didn't ask this, but I love coming to work every day so much. And you guys know how I feel about my family, and obviously got to, my son for his 13th birthday, all he wanted was a sideline pass. So he was down there today, which was awesome. My wife, see her, it was my mom's birthday today, so she was here. My godmother was here. You guys know how much I love my family, and so to love something so much like I do my family, but still love going to work that much every day is pretty awesome. So that should show you how cool the coaches are, how unbelievably awesome our players are. I've got great bosses. It's a special place.
Ricky, where did the emotion you just showed come from?
I talk about, to my players, I talk about my why sometimes. We always talk about our why, what's your why? And I love my kids. I love my kids dearly. But my why is my wife. When you're a Cornell-educated engineer like she is, and probably the smartest human being that I know, and you give up what could be, and who knows what she could have done, and you give that up so that I can pursue my dreams, and I can do things like this. I don't know. There's not very many people who are going to be able to have somebody like that in their life, and so that's probably the main thing for me.
What was the conversation like after the game with Brent? What did y'all say to each other?
Brent's a football coach, he knows. He said some things to me that I'm going to keep personal, because, that is our relationship. I said some things to him, and those you guys know how those pre and post game things are so stupid. Well, I don't even know why we do them. When you don't do them, you're a jerk and whatever. When you do them, nothing gets done there. Like, no one's says this grand thing that is going to just make they're ridiculous. You know what I mean? All they just are at this point. It's not about sportsmanship. It's about perception and all those sort of things. Brent and I will talk in real time sometime, and we'll have real conversations about things, and not some conversation on the field that God and country can be witness to.
Obviously, when you go into a season, you don't know what you have until you actually put it out on the field. Same with him. Does what you had tonight change your perception of what you have?
No, sir. This is what I thought I had. I thought we played well tonight. Obviously, everyone's going to point to offense. Oh, you could have played better. Yeah, we could have. You know what I mean? But I mean, we're going against one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. I mean, Brent's. I've gone against it for a long time, and his stuff is so simple in some ways and so nuanced and complicated in others. Just the little tiny adjustments he makes to be able to stop you and force you to go to your second, third, and fourth best things you do. I mean, that's awesome. And so for Coach Rahne to be able to find what was going to work on that last drive, that's pretty awesome for one of the youngest offensive coordinators in the country.
Given the challenges the offense was having for quite some time, was there any doubt or frustration that set in at that point?
There's never any doubt there was frustration. I mean, listen, we've got a great defense, and we've got our own great defensive coordinator who makes some great adjustments, as you guys saw tonight. So we've been battling with those guys, and it's been a back and forth affair, So our offense had been doing some really, really nice things, and so tonight was frustrating for them because they knew they could play better. I think part of it was they wanted to come out and play so well that they played a little tight, and that's not who we are. We're a loose team. We're a team that we do things by the book and things like that. But on game day, I want to be loose. I mean, I've told people before. I mean, if you've ever seen the movie Full Metal Jacket, the Marine does not want robots. The Marine wants killers. So I want them to know the discipline of things, and then I want them to cut them loose on game day and let them go get it. And we played a little tight today. We played a little robotic early, and then later we started making some plays.
How tough was Blake Watson tonight?
I mean, he's a tough kid. People question his toughness because of his just his overall personality and everything. He's a very happy-go-lucky kid. But I don't question his toughness. I tell everybody, I mean, you look at all his yards, most of them are in between the guards. For a kid who played wide receiver his first few years and all through high school, for his yards to come in between the guards, that's a pretty impressive thing. I mean, that's some toughness, and he did a lot tonight. We need to continue to get him more involved in some other areas, but I mean, he's a warrior.
Was that his ball all the way at the goal line?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not only was it his ball, but it was our offensive line's ball. I'm going to put it in their hands as many times as I can. That's football right there, right? You know what I mean? That's let's go be football. We still had 2 timeouts left too, and everyone was freaking out. I mean, I wasn't using timeouts, but I wanted them to use theirs. In which we were able to do. You think about this, we were able to make them use both their timeouts there at the end, off the 10-second runoff and off the other one, and now they've got to, the quarterback feels pressure to chuck the thing down the field. I think in the back of his mind, he thought he could make the same play that he made last year against us. Teams change.
What does a win like this mean for this program?
It means we're 1-0, and next week we get another chance to go 1-0. I mean, I know that sounds cliche or whatever, but that's the truth. I mean, that's the God's honest truth. I mean, no win is bigger than going 1-0, and it puts us in a position to go win next week against a really good team. So, I'm excited. I've talked all year, but we've got a lot of opportunity on this schedule, and this week we took advantage of our opportunity.
Coach, how much of a foundation was laid in 2020? You didn't have football the way you finished last year, and to do this tonight, how much the work and blood, sweat, tears put in by your staff and your players, you're starting to see it manifested continually here?
Yeah, we were able to do a lot of fundamental work We were able to do a lot of things where we established a culture. I think the other thing that we were able to do, and I've talked about this a lot, is we were able to realize how much we love the game of football and how any price that we needed to pay to play was going to be worth it. And it was a blessing. It was a blessing for all of us because not everybody gets that opportunity, right? You know, not everybody gets to have something that they love so dearly taken away, because what happens when you're in the grind of college football is it starts to become just that. It starts to become a job, starts to become a grind. But when you get it taken away from you, you realize how much it's part of you. I think that was a major blessing for a lot of the kids on our team and certainly a lot of our coaches.
Ricky, Hayden did not throw the ball well in the first 3 quarters. Mm-hmm. What happened in the last 3 minutes?
I think he just started. Playing quarterback is a funny deal. All right, quick story time. All right, so we were playing high school highlight tapes, right? Well, I certainly don't have a high school highlight tape because I would have had cut the film, put it together. It would have been a disaster. You know, I'm a little old for that. But what we did have on system is we did have the 1999 Cornell versus Harvard game, and in that game we won 29-28, and I sucked so bad in the first half that I was told that I was getting pulled if I didn't score on the first drive. I proceeded to go 3 and out on the first drive, but thank God our defense got a turnover and they couldn't get the backup in quick enough. So went the game, threw for 300 and some yards in the second half, and we won 29-28. It was the first time my wife and I kissed my wife after the game. That was like the first time where we were like, hey, maybe we're in a relationship instead of like whatever the heck we were doing before. And so it was a cool deal. Well, the kids got to watch that. They got to watch me get smoked a few times. They got to watch me on a 4th down throw a game-winning touchdown to a guy named Tim Herman. And so, I was horrible in the first half of that game. As god-awful as you can be. And came back and did all right. Sometimes quarterbacking is just about all of a sudden you just start feeling it and you start feeling what the heck, and just start cutting it loose a little bit more. So I have the utmost confidence in Hayden, and I think he's going to go and play really, really well the rest of the season.
Ricky, how did this celebration tonight compare to the bowl eligibility celebration last year?
It's just different. Different team, different celebration. We've had a lot go on in the off season. A lot of challenges in the off season. So the guys were very emotional about that, I think. Some guys had some personal challenges. You had a guy like Ryan Henry who couldn't play in the first half because of the targeting penalty in the bowl game, and he's able to come back out and get that interception and things like that. There's some really, really emotional people, it was a little bit different. I think the bowl game one, it was just like the next step every time, so it's just a little bit different. This one was a little bit special just because of the build up to it, probably more than anything else.
Special teams was big last year. We're big again today. Let's talk about the progression of that and that big play with the touchdown on that whatever that was. Muff.
You make your own luck happen. Again, we put a lot of pressure on kickers by what we do. So the long snapper had, there was an error there, but we hustled after the ball, right? We didn't take a play off. I thought special teams was a little up and down. We got to get better on kickoff coverage, which we've usually been very good at. But I thought we punted the ball better. I thought we did some of those things really, really well, and Coach Smith does a great job. But we're going to play our best players on special teams, and so those guys are going to be in there. So they've got to, so we're always going to try to change the game on special teams.
Last time Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech, they played at East Carolina and lost. I assume that's something you'll talk to your players about.
I'll bring it up probably once, just explaining what 1-0 is all about, again, for the 400,000th time. But other than that, we're not going to discuss any. That'll be, I'll probably say it once in very passing, that'll be about it.
Is there a recruiting benefit to winning this game?
No, I don't know. I mean, I recruiting has changed so much, right? There's a lot of other factors involved and things like that, but I think maybe the one benefit is that kids can realize that they can come here and they can chase their dreams and they can win big games and you know, hey, especially kids from this region, they can make big plays. You know, kids that transfer in, you know, a guy like Tobias Harris can make a big time play. You know, so I think that you know, that's probably the thing that you see the most is you can start to paint a picture and have people envision things like that.
And I'm guessing you didn't copy Bobby. I know I asked about this during the summer. You didn't copy Bobby and take a selfie with the players and the kids rushing the field after the game?
I've never taken a selfie in my life. I don't even really know how. I'm not like immune to technology. I actually quite enjoy it, but I am very averse to selfies and emojis and any other things like that. Yeah, that's pretty. It'd be pretty far out of bounds for me. I mean, there are people who want to take picture. I think like, you know, people like even the football gods were looking out for me a little bit because my mom wanted a picture after, and she was going to take it with my aunt's cell phone, and my aunt's cell phone died. You know, like, so the football gods are like, I got you, brother. You know, so it's good.
You ever go back and like watch the game on ESPN? Do you record it and watch like their broadcast? No.
I mean, mainly because I don't want to see myself acting silly and you know, those sort of things. I want to be able to be as natural as I am. I feel like if I watch games like that I'll end up like start holding myself back. You know, I remember I felt like I did that early in the season last year, particularly in the Wake Forest game. That I tried to be the head coach, look like the head coach, and that's not what our kids expect of me, and that's not what I expect of myself. So I don't ever want to watch that because if I look like an idiot, I just don't want to know. Thanks. Anything else? Bueller? All right. Thanks.